Yes, it's Jumani, also known as Jubian Watchner, is always Arsenal. Now, first things first, let me admit that I really thought that we were going to get all 3 points today. I think that our front three players have been performing, with the exception of Saka, but we have been performing in terms of the statistics. Saka still has a couple of assists, Martinelli with some goals, Gabriel with assists and goals. And I think the combination with them and Odegaard have been working for us. Yes, against softer opponents, but I really thought that we would have definitely continued to get those points and come out undefeated today. But it didn't happen. Manchester United beat us 3-1 at the Old Trafford, and it was a hard one to take. But the reality is, we're still in a good space, still in a good place, and we're still in first place. So I ain't vexed. I ain't vexed. I really wanted the 3 points, at least 1 point, but I ain't vexed because we were able to compete. And let me just get to the starting lineup. Of course, we had Ramsdale in goals. Zinchenko came back in the left back position with Ben White right back and Gabriel and Saliba centre back. Xhaka and Lokonga in the central defensive midfield position with Odegaard right in front of them and our front three, which includes Martinelli on one side, Saka on the other side, and Gabriel Jesus on top. And we started the game on the back foot. Let's be real. We were under pressure. As expected, Manchester United have been in a good form, and they were playing home, and the vibes around the Old Trafford was good. And they started on the front foot and we were on the back foot, but we absorbed the pressure and were able to score. We were able to score against the run of play and break the momentum. The goal was disallowed, and it was a soft call, but it was a foul, with Odegaard and Ericsson and so on, before Saka played a beautiful weighted pass onto Martinelli's stride, who collected, pounced, and chipped a nice ball into the goal. But it was disallowed. But that moment it broke the momentum that Manchester United had, and we started to compete in the game. Now, unfortunately, we conceded. Gabriel, rash tackle, the referee played the advantage, and Manchester United benefited from the advantage. Of course, Zinchenko was talking too much and wasn't really focusing on Anthony, and he finished. And I was cursing because, I mean, is that one by? We'd break the momentum, and then Manchester United scored on us. And we went into the half, came back out, and we competed, you know. We competed until we end up getting a goal, courtesy Saka, who finally scored, because he really have been getting a few assists, but we still didn't see the best of Saka yet. Yes, he turned the Manchester United left back a few times and he made some decent runs, but Saka still haven't been to his best. But he was rewarded with a goal, and I at that moment there I was like, hey, we could hold on to this and we could even fight for the 3 points. It didn't happen that way. Manchester United were able to break our high press, which was kind of careless, especially the second goal. And those type of things is what is the difference between a Champions League team and a regular European League team. And that is what we definitely need to work on, because it's those defining moments that determine the results. So we could be threatening, we could be how energetic, how passionate, how creative, because we were creative and we were competing in the game. It's just that key moments like what Bruno and Rashford executed, although Bruno didn't have the best game, those moments is what get the scores on the table, get the scores and produce the win. So we need to work on that. I think we're still in a good place because we competed throughout the game, and I must credit our players still for believing. We didn't believe enough, but still credit them for believing that they could compete away from home with Manchester United, who, by the way, is enjoying a good run of form. We too, but today we were given, I wouldn't say a reality check, but we lost, and it was necessary, although I still wanted the 3 points and I still at least wanted to come out with a point. But the point is, we are still competing in games, and you are seeing clearly, unless you're a hater, that Arsenal is a much better team than before. And even if you're still not impressed, one thing that we can be happy about is based on our easier games that we played so far in the season, we are now in first position, and we are still in first position, I should say, and that's a good sign. And we lost this game today. The gap between us and the other teams is smaller, but we have a good run of a good run of fixtures coming up, inclusive of the Europa League. So we have to manage that good. But we have to just continue to be in this good space that we in mentally and physically, go out there and perform, because we ain't playing bad. I just think that the defining moments is what is important, because we had a few shots that were very much off target, and that is because one reason I assume is because we were so trying to be so we weren't executing a measure of calmness. And I think if we were just a little calmer with our shots and our attempts, we would have equalized, we would have competed, and we probably would have gotten the 3 points. But we rushed a few chances, and in the final third, we were second best to Manchester United. And that's what happened. We lost the game 3-1. But we have a Europa game on Thursday against Zurich. Hopefully, we can get a good result there, and then come back in the Premier League against Everton, who got some sort of confidence. But we in studying that, we're looking to beat all these small teams, because if we have easy fixtures and we playing against these small teams, it are more small teams than bigger teams. So if we could beat all these small teams, we should come out good in the end. You know what I mean? But anyhow you take it, we still in first position. Disappointing to lose today, but is always Arsenal.